I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
And this week is a special episode because it's like our first now playing in a long time.
I had called it. We should do it now playing in quarantine. We haven't seen that. We haven't been to the theaters. At least for me, I haven't been to the theaters since March 4th of 2020.
Yeah, I think me and Honto, we talked about this yesterday. We had the same last movie,
Invisible Man.
Yeah, Invisible Man.
And it was an incredible experience, and I'll never forget it because it was the last movie I saw.
Chris, what was yours?
So I went to the movie 3 or 4. We went 4 times in January or February before everything happened. And it was Knives Out, Birds of Prey.
Sonic. I remember that.
I think Sonic might be the last one. We definitely saw Invisible Man, but I think Sonic was the last one.
Yeah, okay. I remember seeing Sonic also in theaters, but I think that was before Invisible Man.
Was it? I can't remember.
I think so.
Okay. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about, and we also don't have a lot to talk about. So I have a lot of numbers for this movie. So let's go back to when this originally started in 2017, I think is the original.
Mm-hmm.
And let's play how much. We've all seen the original, right?
Yeah. Did we talk about the original on the show?
No, it was Batman versus
Superman.
Which I watched yesterday, the unrated director's cut.
Oh, okay, how was it?
Not good.
No,
still not good.
So originally Justice League was made. What was its budget when Zack Snyder was in charge of it? Honto, I'll start off with you.
$100 million.
Okay, Matt.
I'll say 200 million.
Okay, 275 million.
My Lord.
And then Zack Snyder has to leave for personal reasons. And then you bring in Josh Whedon. How much does Josh Whedon add on to the budget of 275 million?
70 million.
Okay, Matt?
150 million.
He adds on 25 million.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's way out there.
So then we cut to, so the movie comes out, and then we cut to now, 2021. Zack Snyder releases his cut that he always envisioned, but he didn't get to film the entire thing. So he does reshoots. How much does he add to the budget?
I think I know this, unfortunately. So forget me.
If you know it, don't say it.
Okay.
Matt, you know it?
I'm gonna say 150 mil.
I'm gonna say I think it is, but I think it's 70 million.
Yeah, it is 70 million.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're at 370 million per movie, which is the second highest budget for a movie ever. Do you want to guess what number 1 is for the biggest budget ever?
Is it Avengers Infinity War?
No,
it is. Matt, did you want to guess? Do you have anything?
Is it okay? Can I get a hint? Is it a Disney movie?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say
Invisible Man.
Oh, is it a pirate? I'm gonna guess. I don't know what the names of them, but I'm gonna guess it's a Pirates movie.
It is
3.
Pirates Stranger Tides. 410 million.
That's 4? Is that 4?
I can't remember. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
why the hell was it that much?
Sorry?
Why the hell was it that much?
I don't know, but it paid off because it made over $1 billion.
Oh my Lord. Those
okay.
movies.
Yeah, but to put in comparison, guess how much Thor Ragnarok cost, and it came out the same year.
Oh yeah. Because it came out, I think, November of 2017, I think.
I think so. I think that was
that movie probably cost what, 70 million?
Matt?
I feel like you've guessed 75 million on every movie so far. 70 million? I'm gonna say 100 million.
100 million. So that's insane.
Right.
That movie only cost that. That blows my mind.
And it only took them one attempt to make it.
Right. So when Justice League originally came out in the theaters, how much did it cost, or how much did it make domestically? Matt, we'll start off with you this time.
Dude, this number game. It is way too early for this number game.
Brain is gonna explode.
Matt, what do you got domestically?
Okay, what was the budget again?
Budget was $7 billion.
No, what was the initial budget?
After Whedon came on,
200 or whatever.
300, yeah.
300.
So 300. I'm gonna say it was domestically 200 million.
Okay, Honto.
300 million.
It only made 230 domestically. So even in just America alone, it did not make back its budget. but worldwide, did it make back its budget? Hanto, you tell us. What do you think it made worldwide?
70 million.
70 million.
I'll just say like 150 million or something.
All together, it made.
Oh, is this all? Oh my god, I
Dude,
can't.
no.
We gotta
no.
stick. We gotta stick to one format here. We gotta either
Yeah.
stick to the worldwide or just the international.
Agree.
It always confuses me.
No, worldwide means everywhere.
I know that, but we keep flip flopping on like what comes after domestic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So worldwide, I'm gonna say 750 million.
Okay, Matt.
I'm gonna go 900 million.
658. So this was, I mean, it made its money back, but it wasn't like a huge.
Yeah,
huge
it wasn't
movie.
like it wasn't Marvel bucks, you know.
Yeah, Marvel bucks. Oh, I got these Marvel bucks. Can I play with that?
I mean,
All right,
Disney. If you go
so-
to Disney, they have Disney bucks, so it's the same thing.
So I have two more number questions, and it's for our Matt. So Rotten Tomatoes.
How many times did I watch this movie? Once.
Rotten Tomatoes score for the original one? What do you think it was? Matt, I'll start off with you.
46%.
Hanto,
62%.
40% for the original.
Wow.
For the Zack Snyder cut, what do you think it had on Rotten Tomatoes? Hanto, I'll start off with you.
100%. No, I'm gonna say it probably increased. I'll say like 72%.
Oh, I was gonna say 75%.
Okay, it was 74. Hanto wins.
Wow.
Damn.
Wait, is that true? Is that? Oh, I guess maybe. Yeah. Okay.
You guys
I'll,
maybe
I'll,
was.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I guess maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so now all the numbers are out of the way.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
just dive
God.
into this movie. 4-hour cut, shot in 4:3 aspect ratio. What did you think about this aspect ratio?
I was. It was weird at first, but I got used to it like pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, I got used to it pretty fast. At was it all 4:3 by the way? At one
Oh, yeah.
point did it
Everything.
switch up?
Everything.
Like
4-3.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I know it's weird. It's formatted for IMAX.
But like
But I
on
don't-
our screens, it's like the
Yeah,
box.
but it wasn't shot in IMAX.
That's weird.
So yeah, so essentially it's just kind of like it's just a 4:3 box. Like
Yeah, it's just a 4-3 movie.
so what it's saying is that you could put up an episode of I Love Lucy in IMAX and it'd fit that screen. Right?
Yeah.
Very interesting. Nice.
Well, it's such a bummer because I bought a 4K TV the other day, and we popped it up and everything, and it said it was streaming through HBO and Dolby Digital and everything. And I was like, or Dolby Vision. I was like, this is gonna be amazing. And then that 4:3 popped up, and then on top of it, Zack Snyder movies are very grainy.
Yeah.
So like this movie, I mean, it looked fine, but I was hoping this big, massive, awesome looking movie on this
Spectacle.
TV.
Yeah, spectacle. At home
Yeah.
theater experience.
Right.
How do you guys feel about as far as like the way the movie looks? A lot of it's green screen and like CGI, and even in like the real life settings, like
Very movie set,
outdoors.
like movie set.
Yeah, it's a little manipulated. Like sunsets and skies
Yeah.
got like color to it, even if it didn't when they filmed it. How do you guys feel about this kind of like this digital look that Zack Snyder does?
I don't know. I honestly am kind of torn. I
Yeah.
don't hate it, but it took me out of the movie a few times.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
I don't know. I really don't think I hated it, but I'm not like, oh, that looks amazing. I don't know.
There were some parts that kind of threw me out. I mean, it like comparing it to the Joss Whedon version, it looked better because the entire final like fight scene at the end in the Joss Whedon version, it was just like this red hue or red tint. And in the new version, they changed the sky to it's just nighttime basically.
yeah,
And-
right.
And it looked better because like you're not seeing the CGI as it's not as evident as with the red hue basically.
Yeah,
So
I would
I was
agree
fine.
with
I
you
was
on
I was
that.
fine with it in certain aspects, but like others were, they're in Atlantis or whatever. Definitely threw me off because it's like, how do you shoot like people underwater, and that's all just green screen no matter what. Like,
Yeah. There was
Now-
only one shot that was really bad in it, and I was like, "Ooh!" And it was like within the first like 3 minutes was when they showed Lex Luthor in that pool.
Oh yeah.
And it looked like he was like Photoshop cut out, and they were like zooming in on him, and it looked really like
it was like a Ken
like,
Burns effect that they used on.
Yeah, it was really weird. I was like, that somehow it looked like they ripped it from another movie. Like they ripped it from Batman vs Superman and inserted it in there.
Well,
They did.
Yeah, that whole sequence with him in the water is from Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, but it looked like they like ripped like the digital outline of him and put it in there. Like it's like they, you know what I mean? It was weird.
Like they
I think
reshot
you
it
say
or
like
something.
they ripped another Blu-ray and then put it into this movie.
Like his face was off.
Okay. Did you
and-
did you guys watch this all in one sitting?
No, this is my
Yeah.
question I had for you guys is
Uh,
how long did it take you to watch this movie?
so we started it.
Good
We
question.
watched it yesterday, which was a Saturday.
Yeah.
We watched an hour in the morning.
Okay.
We watched an hour in the evening or in the afternoon, and then we started it. We're like, oh, we'll just watch one more hour tonight, and it was like 11. And spoiler alert, we enjoyed it so much we stayed up till 1 to finish it. So
Cool. I had
Right.
started at 6 p.m. on, I think it was that Thursday, I think it came out. And I didn't get done until 11:45. I had to take several breaks and
Okay.
pace myself with this thing because there is a
You-
lot of content here.
Yeah, we described it as beefy.
Yeah, beefy. I said beefy and you said what? Hefty.
hefty. I was like,
Yeah, I was like,
hefty
yeah.
watch.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's very beefy.
Yeah, it is. It Honto, my time is pretty close to yours. We started it, me and my wife watched it and started it at like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
No, 5:30 in the afternoon, and it took us till about like 11 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, so it's about the
pretty
same.
close around the same time as yours.
Yeah.
But
Thankfully,
like,
thankfully the movie is separated by like sections, so you
Yeah.
can when to take breaks. So I appreciate that. But if it was one continuous story, it was going to be a real problem, I think.
yeah.
yeah, the chapters
But-
were really nice. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
I do like that a lot.
I would say I was never bored.
I was surprised, to be
That
honest.
first hour. So I
The
was
setting
talking to
up,
Matt about
you know.
this. Oh, I was gonna say the all the Amazonian stuff. Not. I mean, I don't know. It just kind of drags on for me. I feel
Yeah.
like I've seen this. We just watched the Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
So like, and nothing's really happening. They're just setting up the scene. So I'm trying to
That-
like the
yeah,
pacing's off for me.
Yeah, basically they set up that they have like one of the mother boxes that Steppenwolf is looking for, so they have to like spend time doing that whole chunk of scene.
I actually like this because it's a 4-hour cut. They can stretch this out as long as they want, and I remember
Yeah.
being really kind of subtle and quick, and or pretty fast and quick in
In the
the
Joss Whedon.
original. Yeah, and it was just whatever. But I feel like I really liked it in this one because they could sit there and spend 20 minutes on it, and they're like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
you're strapped for a 4-hour movie. We don't have to
Yeah.
worry about."
Because
like-
if I recall in the original version, it's
The
them. It just literally cuts to, was it Themyscira is like the place they're from,
Yeah,
and it literally just cuts them. They have the mother box. Steppenwolf shows up, and then that whole sequence happens where he like kills a lot of them and then steals the mother box. Like
Yeah.
that's all that happens in the Joss Whedon version. Whereas
The
like
only-
they extended, with backstory and everything.
and the only thing that like I would knock on this for is I don't understand the physics of this movie sometimes.
Oh yeah, I
know?
feel like you're gonna say the same thing, but go ahead.
Okay, like all these women are like, and I'll bring up this scene specifically. All these women are like kicking ass and like jumping around, and in a way they have like super strength, right? Because they're like the way they're jumping and grabbing onto things,
Yeah,
grabbing onto people as they're going by, and then like throwing people up behind their back and
yeah,
charging forward on a horse. And then like at one point, one of the girls gets killed by a horse falling on her, and I was just like, hold on. I was like,
aren't
they're,
you like
like,
a super
throwing-
strong?
yeah. So I'm like really confused by like, I was like, you can leap this far.
Yeah,
You can pick up people with one arm and throw them on your back, but like a horse falls on you, you're like, yeah, I'm dead. Internal bleeding. You know what I mean? Like,
That's a good point. Yeah.
yeah.
I was so confused by that, and there was times in the movie where I was like, okay, what are
the
the
abilities, I
physics
guess.
of it? Yeah, like Aquaman. When Aquaman's
Yeah.
like I'll say he's flying. I know he's falling with style.
Oh
He's
yeah,
doing the Buzz Lightyear. He's falling with style.
yeah.
but like he's like flying. He's just like at one point he's like hovering in. And it's like, oh, I'm flying like this.
He's using his using his fish gills to glide forward.
Like,
which is even weirder.
As his fish gills, it was supposed to be the
was it Adam Sandler from that one Funny People? Don't they cut to a scene in that movie where it's like his fake trailer?
Like, yeah. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Which doesn't make any sense in this movie is that every time Aquaman dives into the water, he loses his shirt.
Yeah.
Like at that point, like it's already wet. Like how many shirts do you go through? Because it shows him like
a lot.
That's a lot.
He's got a lot of gift cards to Banana Republic, so he's able to. But there is a part where he meets up with it's like when he meets up with Bruce Wayne and he's like, or no, it's like I think later, but it's him. He takes the bottle of whiskey or whatever after he saves that fisherman. And he's like walking real slow to the ocean. Then he just like slams the bottle like into the ocean. You're like, dude, you just polluted your own water.
Right?
Like what the hell, dude?
That was the only thing I could think about when he did that. I was like, you would think like if there was one guy
who cares about the ocean, you know, like the plastic wrapped around like the dolphins, you know, like this guy is causing this, and he's the ruler of the ocean.
Yeah, he does. I do like him as Aquaman. Watching Entourage all those years and how they make fun of Entourage about
James Cameron and James Cameron, you know,
because like the whole idea is that they're making Aquaman because it's like an unmakeable.
Yeah, it's like how do you
movie.
make? Yeah, exactly.
But it's like it's cool that like they've twisted Aquaman and made him like pretty cool.
And you know what? I'm a huge fan of the Aquaman movie. I think it's a lot of fun. And
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
I think Jason Momoa has a lot of fun with it, and I like it a lot. I think it's top tier DC for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that has a lot to do with the director, who's James Wan.
Yeah.
And his track record is pretty solid. And he actually, I think his track record, other than all the horror movies he does, like he did one of the Fast and Furiouses, and he did Aquaman.
And that might be where, because I think Gal Gadot was in one of those movies, I think. So it's probably they're all connected, you know?
Yeah. What did you guys think? I saw this. This was actually a really good point. I saw this thing on Reddit, and I think this is probably the best point about this movie is someone said, you have all these slow motion scenes in the movie with like Wonder Woman, The Flash, like whatever. When you put that many slow motion scenes in a movie, it doesn't make the Flash look as cool because the Flash gets slowed down because he's so fast.
Right.
But when you do it with Wonder Woman and all these other characters, it kind of just takes away from that special effect with the Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because we brought this up like last week with The Matrix because we like there's slow motion scenes in The Matrix where there's slow motion scenes because it looks cool. And then there's slow motion scenes where it's supposed to mimic them actually being faster than normal.
Yeah.
You know? So it is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I could see that is strange. It takes the power away from it.
But I will say, and this was missing in the Joss Whedon, the original version, they do scenes with Wonder Woman moving at superhuman speed, basically, when she's saving all the people from the bank robbery. And I watched the original version. There's like so much slow motion in that scene. But in this version, they speed it up where she's like deflecting the bullets with her bracelets. It's really awesome looking. And then there's a part, I think, after the first encounter with Steppenwolf, the Flash saves a bunch of people from the falling debris. And it's super cool looking. Like, we've never seen the Flash look like this because they didn't do anything with the Flash in the original version.
Well,
I think... Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the end scene with...
it's like after
the original?
No. I'm referring to the part in the Snyder Cut where they're escorting a bunch of people out of the building, and there's like debris falling from the sky, and he like realizes that it's coming, and he saves everybody. It's like really fast, you know. It's like lightning all around them, but you just see like silhouettes of him like catching everything, and it's really awesome looking because like we haven't like really had a Flash move before, so it's like cool seeing him like react at, you know, you're not getting the slow motion of him running real weird like in the like in this movie and in the original version.
Dude, he's like he looks amazing in this movie. Every time the Flash does something, I'm like totally on board.
Speed Force at the end, primo stuff. Because I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, that was real.
I'm a huge fan of the Flash, and so it was awesome seeing him like run like at basically faster than the speed of light, and then reverse time. It was awesome.
Very cool, like as far as like ending scene too, because I remember watching this originally, and I watched it with Chris, and it was just whatever. It was nothing. We were just like, okay,
the original,
thing.
The way I described the original is that it's so painfully mediocre that I got nothing out of it.
Yeah, but it's just like I felt like the action at the end of this, and it was like literally the Flash going back in time.
Each one has their own moment, pretty much.
Yeah, Cyborg has a really cool moment. At one point, I was watching it, and my wife was like Steppenwolf like kept like getting closer to Cyborg, and my wife was like kind of on edge.
Yeah,
she's like, oh my god, Superman, please show up. And it's like,
I was also like on edge because I was like, oh man, like I don't know what to expect, because I know in the previous version they basically defeat Steppenwolf and he loses because he's scared. The end. He survives in the end of the original. He gets scared because I think like someone breaks his sword. Or I think Wonder Woman breaks his sword in the original version. He's like, oh no, they defeated me. And then the parademons, the flying guys, they like all swarm him because they sense fear. And then he just gets zapped to Apocalypse, which is where like Darkseid is and stuff.
How do you guys, and Darkseid's not even in the original, if I remember, like
not at all.
How do you guys feel about Steppenwolf in this?
He's a lot better developed, I think.
Yeah,
I agree. Like, he looks cooler. I looked up all the comparisons.
Yeah,
and they completely changed his look for this one, and I think he looks a lot cooler.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. They did a lot of rework on his armor or whatever, because I don't think he had like the spikes sticking out.
Interchangeable things.
Yeah, like they weren't like livable, breathing like armor or whatever. Yeah. Like it was just a whatever suit he was wearing.
But like he is so flat in the original, and I feel like
absolutely
they made him like they really made him pop in this. Where I really I felt like he had a really cool I felt like he had a really interesting goal in mind. Where it wasn't just like, oh, I'm here for world domination. Like, no, it's him to be like, I'm here to appease my father. Like,
well, I think
it was just like, oh, that's a really cool.
I think Steppenwolf is the uncle of Darkseid, so he's appeasing his nephew pretty much. Is he? Yeah. I think he's the nephew.
I always thought Steppenwolf was one of his sons.
No, I think Darkseid is Steppenwolf's nephew. So he's like trying to gain the love of his nephew, I guess.
Your second cousin's roommate.
What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
I will say my favorite part of this movie, or at least what they've added to it, is all the Flash and Cyborg story.
They fleshed them out way more because they are nothing characters in the original.
No, they're wasted. Yeah.
They really did. Is it Ray Fisher who plays Cyborg? They really did him terribly. Like, I feel so bad for the guy because he was advocating that like all of his scenes were cut, blah blah blah, and I was like, I don't really know because he hasn't really been in anything. I think he was in True Detective season 3, but like after watching this version, they did the character so well, and I felt so good. Like I felt for the character, like the relationship with him and his dad and everything. That I was like, I want to see more of this character. I want to see the guy do more stuff, and it felt awesome.
Well, and like I outside of Teen Titans, which is a completely different version of Cyborg.
Oh yeah, it's goofy.
Cyborg was the character that I was like not looking forward to, because after seeing the original, I was like, oh man, this character is really boring.
Yeah,
and like they flesh him out so well in this new one, and it when I heard that like they were gonna like kind of like flesh him out a little bit more, I was like, oh man, I didn't really enjoy it in the original, so we'll see. I thought it was gonna be like the lower point of the movie, and it is the highest point for me in the movie.
It's like the main plot of the movie. I felt like it really revolved around him and the dad and then the mother box and everything.
But it was just like, for me, it was like the high point because it was like the one character I really, really felt for. Because like I don't feel for Batman, Superman, Flash, Aquaman. I don't feel for them because I know and here's the thing, I know they're safe. But there's a strong possibility that Cyborg could die at the end of this movie,
right?
Because he's the lesser known one of the six. So I'm like really feeling for him. His story was excellent, and they really like it's a bummer that I think Ray Fisher retired early or he quit.
He like kind of quit because like I think he was accusing studio executives of like discrimination and all that kind of stuff. And like I think there was problems on the set with Joss Whedon, and that whole thing is ongoing now. There's a lot of stuff going on with him. But like I'm glad in this version they really gave him like a pedestal to kind of like shine on, because he was pretty awesome in this movie.
He's great. And like I feel like I really want a Cyborg movie now, but
exactly.
I'm afraid we're probably not going to get that.
It's gonna be really tough. But I feel like if the fans can advocate for a Snyder cut 4 years after the fact, I feel like the fans can help push for some more movies in this universe.
I think that was part of the thing too, is that they announced the Snyder cut before HBO Max went live.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of their, hey, sign up for HBO because we have this.
Well, I think it was actually supposed to be a theatrical release, and then COVID happened, and so they had to like switch gears really fast, and they eventually did.
Oh no, I thought it was always made for HBO.
Oh, maybe.
I thought HBO like financed it and everything.
Okay.
Because what I read was like, and I could be wrong on this, but HBO is trying to do it like Disney Plus backs up Marvel. So HBO is talking about how they were trying to back up DC with their releases.
Okay.
But I could have sworn it was always meant for streaming.
It may have been.
But yeah, with these original ones, I remember in the original Justice League, you had Cyborg and Flash. And I remember it felt like they were trying to keep up with the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
But they didn't set up any of these characters yet. So they're like, here's Flash, here's Cyborg, here's this.
Yeah.
And with this 4-hour cut, I totally enjoyed these characters this time.
Yeah, and I'll agree with you, because I didn't bring it up either, was that like in the original I was the same way about the Flash, because like I just wasn't into him. And I was like, oh man, they're trying to make him like the fun one of the group, and I was not, like, his jokes were like real flat, and I wasn't like really enjoying him very much. And then in this one, I was laughing at a lot of the stuff he was saying.
Yeah. His moment when they first like kind of introduce him, where he saves Iris, I think it's Iris West, I think, in the scene, but he saves her from the car crash. That whole sequence is pretty awesome. Just
what is she from?
The actress.
Yeah.
I looked her up. I wasn't really familiar.
I've seen her in something. But that whole scene is great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of goofy when he threw a hot dog in his pocket randomly.
When he was going for it, I was like, where is this going? Come on.
I know.
I knew that's how I felt too. Because he like smiled. He was like, and I was like, where's he going with this hot dog?
Like, this girl's about to die.
Free hot dog.
But I gotta say, like, what I was most excited for, the biggest like reveal in this movie, is Martian Manhunter.
Dude, right?
I was like, when he walked out of Amy Adams' like room, I was like, holy shit! I was like, Martian Manhunter. I was like,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
He's not in the I haven't seen the original years.
He's not.
Yeah. Okay. And I was just like blown away. I was like, Martian Manhunter.
Henry Lennox, who plays the character, he's in Man of Steel as like one of the government like generals or whatever, who's like,
I saw that.
He's been around since Man of Steel, and he was actually in, I think he's in Batman vs Superman as well. But it's cool, like he's just been hiding in the shadows apparently.
That's real. Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, he's like, "Can I be best friends with you guys? I think you could use a Martian Manhunter on your team."
Okay, and there's a couple scenes that were like a little goofy with him, because it's like when he showed up, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." There's my F-bomb. I was like, Martian Manhunter, that's great. And then I thought about it, I was like, why the hell did Martian Manhunter go to Amy Adams' like apartment? I was like, it's like a motivational speaker to be like, hey, you should just go back to work.
Oh yeah.
But then I realized
he walks
go
down the
ahead.
hallway and he's like, the world needs you. And he makes that one-liner, but I don't know why he would go to Lois Lane and be like, the world needs you.
It's okay. What I've like realized afterwards watching it, he motivates her to go back to work so she'll go see Superman's memorial. And I think he knows that Superman's going to come out and be like crazy. And when he sees her, it's going to like change his
Okay.
mind. So I think
Yeah.
he does that knowing that all those situations take place and that like he needs her to get moving.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes sense.
but yeah, and like Batman's not afraid of Martian Manhunter at all at the end of that movie when he shows up, and I was like,
He's like, oh, cool, an
dude,
alien. Oh,
yeah, I'd be
nice.
like, dude, you just fought like so many aliens, and you're just like super chill about this one,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
What
He shoots him
Speaking of-
immediately. Shoots him in the head.
Yeah. World saved again.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm Batman. Cuts to credits.
Yeah. Dark
Um,
ending.
Snyder cut.
Yeah.
What did you think about the epilogue, that dream sequence?
Goes too
I did
long.
not-
Too many
It's-
epilogues.
I didn't like it. I didn't like
I
it.
did.
I think I would have liked it if it was in the movie somewhere. I didn't
Yeah.
like it at the end. I didn't need it at the end.
They needed to do something similar where either Cyborg gets a glimpse in the future through the mother box, which I feel like they kind of do because they keep showing like the wasteland or whatever. But it just felt weird that it's just like another dream sequence. I guess Batman just has predictive, abilities now. Because I watched Batman vs Superman again last night. And it's the same thing where he has a dream of like the future with Apocalypse coming to town, basically.
And he's got the
trench
Joker
coat.
card. He's got the Joker card on his gun that he gets in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Joker gives him that card, and then if you look in Batman vs Superman, he's got the Joker card on the butt of his gun.
Wow.
Really?
Okay.
And
I did like seeing Jared Leto in this.
I thought he was
him.
better. I thought he was
Not-
better in this.
Not
Yeah.
a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah, I think.
Uh,
I think it's terrible. I think it's pretty terrible in this movie.
There was a cool fan theory I was reading about this. I wanted to bring this up to you guys. So do you remember in Batman vs Superman where they showed the Batcave and there's the Robin outfit and it's
Yeah.
like kind of destroyed. It says "ha ha ha" all over it and everything.
Yeah.
There's a fan theory that Jared Leto is actually Robin.
I think I've
And-
heard about this one too.
Yeah. So he was actually Robin at one point and got switched over. And so when he's talking to him at the end, he's like, it's weird. He's like, the way he's talking to him about Robin. I kept thinking about that.
Yeah.
And he made it sound like it was in past tense, like it's himself in past tense. He's like, why would you send a boy in there? Like he was
Yeah.
like kind of regretful of it. Like Joker was saying that. It
Okay.
sounds like almost as if
Interesting?
like why would you do that? Like that's on you, it's like your
Yeah.
fault. And so I was like, that'd be a really cool like
That'd be
Wouldn't
story
cool.
to spin.
I'd actually be down for that.
But I did like this whole epilogue. I mean, it's not supposed to be attached to the main story, so I mean,
Yeah.
but it does feel weird how it kind of like cuts to
It's a
it.
what if scenario, I guess, or like maybe a glimpse into like the multiverse, which is like a big
See,
thing.
I think it's like a straight nightmare because I don't think it's like a predictive in any sense.
Yeah.
Because I think what they're trying to say with the epilogue is that when it shows all them in the wasteland and they're like, Superman found us and he like lands, I think that is Bruce still unsure about Superman,
Yeah.
thinking that like he could turn again.
He'll
like,
always be a danger,
Yeah.
and that's always like a ongoing thing in like the comics and Justice League, and even like the video games Injustice. It's a thing where it's like he never trusts Superman because he's way too powerful.
I
Yeah.
hate this storyline because I just want Superman. I just want Superman to be Superman, and I don't want I feel like
the one person I love changed me to a bad guy.
well, and I feel like every time they show Superman now in these movies, they're like he's going to be a villain one day, or he's too powerful, and it's just like, you know what? I kind of want the Boy Scout Superman a little bit. I want to see like
farm boy from Smallville or whatever, just like have him, the good ultimate good.
If I've got one major complaint about these movies, I hate how dark and brooding and one note and meditative all these characters are with their own emotions.
Mhm.
Even Lois Lane. I feel like Lois Lane needs to be like Rosalind Russell from His Girl Friday or Jennifer Jason Leigh from Hudsucker Proxy,
Oh, okay.
where it's just like fast talking
Yeah.
and like
And that's
go.
And that's what like
and I feel
Margot
like every
Kid-
time they show her, she's brooding,
yeah.
even though like
Sulking and like real sad.
yeah.
And
And I'm just kind of like I know Amy Adams is like
she can do it. She can definitely
she can do it. And I think a lot of the problem with these movies, it falls down on the writing. I think sometimes the writing comes off a little like flat.
Yeah. That's something that Margot Kidder was like
yeah.
excellent at in the original, was that she was always just fast paced, moving around the news station or the newspaper, and just like trying to get the next scoop, blah blah. But she doesn't do any of that really. Like, got to get the next scoop, and then talking down to Clark Kent, not realizing it's Superman and blah blah blah. But like, obviously they kind of changed that where she knows he's Superman from the end of Man of Steel, I think.
Well, and I feel like every character is Batman. I feel like every character is Batman. Cyborg is Batman.
Yeah.
Superman is Batman. Batman's Batman. Lois Lane is Batman. You know what I mean? They all have the same exact like emotional range between just like what's going on. And the only one who's different that stands out is like the Flash and Aquaman.
Yeah.
And like, and I'll even say like Gal Gadot is like, or I'm sorry, Wonder Woman stands out a little bit better from those barriers. But I just feel like it's like sometimes it gets too meditative and just too kind of like one note-ish. And I'm like, all right, like I want Amy Adams and Clark Kent to have like fun in a way, or Lois Lane and Clark Kent to have fun, I
think they just need to have fun in general in these movies. And Aquaman definitely has fun, like in his standalone movie. Like that is a fun movie. And
sorry. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the movie in general, like, I just watched Batman vs Superman. That's very dark throughout, like very serious. This is obviously very fast or, serious as well until like introduce Flash where you can have some jokes here and there. Like Aquaman, the movie is like just fun. It's a fun movie. Like, so
Chris, how do you feel? Because Superman's your boy. So how do you feel about like,
I love Superman too,
the different interpretations of Superman?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I do prefer like the
Golden Boy,
what do we call it, like the American hero type thing with Christopher Reeve, but I like that he's doing something different with it. I think Henry Cavill is like a perfect Superman.
He's great.
Yes,
he's great. They need to make another standalone Superman with him. They can't give up on him yet.
I wish they would. I know they're starting a new Superman up. I can't remember who's in charge of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not a big Amy Adams fan. I know Matt loves Amy Adams. I don't think she could pull off the Lois Lane even if they gave it to her. Because I even remember in like Superman Returns when Kate Bosworth was Lois Lane, she could even pull off that fast talking. I'm a journalist.
That one was different because like that was almost like a direct spin-off / or a direct sequel from the Christopher Reeve. They just replaced the actors with different people. Whereas like this universe that they set up with Zack Snyder is like a completely different, version.
But I feel like Amy Adams couldn't pull it off either way.
I think she could because she definitely has more energy, like in say American Hustle. I don't like that movie whatsoever, but like she definitely has the acting chops to pull it off. I think it's just unfortunately they wrote her in a way where it's dark all the time for every character.
They write a lot. Yeah, they write a lot of these characters into corners. Yeah, and they're just kind of like, it's just like I really like. I'll say this though. I really, really like Alfred. I think Jeremy Irons is my favorite Alfred of all time.
Amazing performance. He's awesome as Alfred. Great stuff. I want to see now I just want to see like a standalone Batman where it's him and Alfred, trying to figure out what's the next problem in Gotham or whatever. Jeremy Irons killed it in this movie.
You know who else kills it? Batman. I think Ben Affleck is such a cool.
He's pretty good.
Bruce Wayne Batman.
I felt a little bit better in this movie than I did with the original when we covered like Batman vs Superman back in like year one of the show. Yeah. But, I felt a lot better about Ben Affleck as Batman / Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Dude, he's awesome as Bruce Wayne. I love his suit. I love how bulky and big that suit is. I have no problems with Ben Affleck as his character.
It gives me hope. It gives me hope that they will do something with these actors or make more movies in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So overall, I know we really haven't said whether we liked it or not. Let's go into our score real quick. I'm sure it's going to go on to some more conversation. So Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 74%. Hanto, what would you give it?
I'll give it like a 85.
Okay. Matt?
I'm actually I'm pretty close to Hanto's on this. I'm like around like an 80, an 80 to an 85. It's I mean coming from like that original, I think that was like a 35% movie. Like
this is like leaps and bounds, leaps leaps ahead of the original. This is way better than the original.
Yeah, I'll agree with Hans. I'll give it an 85 as well. So I was never. I mean, it was a little slow that first hour.
Yeah,
but the fact
it's you prepping to sit for the next 3.5 hours of this movie.
Dude, I never got bored. I was never watching the clock.
Yeah.
Even with things like, like I said, I'm not like a huge like Amy Adams fan. Even when she's on screen, I enjoy watching her. I really have like no nitpicks about this movie. I think it's very enjoyable.
I also gotta mention they replaced because Junkie XL was previously attached to this, and then when Zack Snyder had to leave, Joss Whedon replaced him with Danny Elfman because he used previously in Avengers, I think Avengers and Avengers Ultron. And I will say, as big as a fan I am as with Danny Elfman, his score for the original was not memorable whatsoever. But this is the best Junkie XL's been since Mad Max Fury Road. I thought the music that they had throughout the movie was incredible. A lot of good like moments and themes used throughout, especially when Superman shows up at the end and beats Steppenwolf to hell. Like that music that's playing is phenomenal. It's great.
But it's for me, it's like it's good, but it's like just play the damn Batman song.
I know your biggest contention is basically getting the Batman theme, which is like I still can't tell you like what Batman's theme is, but the use of Superman's theme in this, I've grown to like really like it a lot.
I love.
No, I meant the Danny Elfman Batman theme. Sorry.
Chris. Yeah.
Okay, I like the music, but one thing that drove me crazy throughout this movie is every time they would like show like Wonder Woman do her thing, she had her theme, and her theme, and I don't want to say any spoilers, reminds me of the last 5 minutes of The Mist. Do you remember like,
when the big creature walks by and it's like
playing like the opera?
And the music's like it sounds dead on it. That's all I kept thinking about was The Mist.
I'm gonna have to listen to that theme now because I only know the guitar, like when she's on the point. I don't know the.
I feel like I'm with you, Chris, because I feel like every time Wonder Woman did something, they played her theme, and it was like a lot.
They did a lot.
Like, it was a lot. Like you could have done a drinking game out of it,
especially just coming from Wonder Woman 84, where they use that song a lot in there. So it's just like again, my brain is about to explode with this Wonder Woman theme song.
But it was like a 15-second like sound clip of this exact thing they kept doing over and over every time Wonder Woman did anything. And it was like it got very repetitive very quickly. And they used it throughout the entire movie.
But other than that, I really don't have any nitpicks for this movie. That's one of the second longest movie I've ever seen was Irishman. And,
Okay.
So I was kind of nervous walking into this. The pacing was awesome, man. The chapter breakups were great. I think I will buy this if they sell it, I'll buy it.
Yeah. Wow. So let me ask you guys then this as a final question going out. Because I feel like we need to talk about this. This is going to open up a doorway. For
it's already happened.
Not for DC, not just for like I know other DC movies are going to come. But this is going to open up a doorway for other directors' cuts to come out. One of the ones they're talking about right now is a rated R cut of Mrs. Doubtfire.
I heard the NC-17 cut of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, really?
Apparently, I guess the director came out and he said, "All right." He's like, "I'm going to clear this up. There is no NC-17." Then he's like, "But there is an R cut." And so like he confirmed it. Like
there's, I guess, the improv in that movie was so like the range on the improv rated goes from G rating all the way to R rating.
Right.
I would love to see the R rating version of that movie.
And it's Chris Columbus that directed that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I was just gonna add to what you said because they've already started doing this because the whole Sonic the Hedgehog debacle, where people were so upset with the character design, and I agree it was very nightmarish. But they had so much such a huge petition for it. They eventually changed the design, and I think they even poured in like millions of dollars to redesign it because there's like an interview with a like animation like an animator for film, and he said like the estimated cost to change each frame of the design of that character would cost like millions of dollars, and so they ended up doing that because of the fans complained. And then the same thing with this movie, where they poured $70 million to get the Snyder cut because people weren't happy with the original version. So I think this is opening up the floodgates of like cuts.
Yeah,
cuts.
Is there anything though that you guys want to see like really bad? Like if they're okay,
I've already made this joke, but like
theoretically,
I want to see. Do you remember like years ago when we did Deadly Friend,
Mm-hmm.
Anto? And I was talking to Matt about this. There's like a legit Wes Craven cut that's supposed to be awesome.
Oh, interesting.
But I feel like the audience is small for that, so you're not going to get a lot of people.
There's literally two people on the show and in the world that wants this cut.
Well, and then another one, I know we've talked about this a million times, but Wes Craven's Cursed.
Okay, that was like
shot with Skeet Ulrich and Mandy Moore. They had to leave halfway through the movie, so they had to recast everybody because it took so long to get it back into production. So there's like a good 40-50 minutes of completely different cast movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
I feel like a lot of it would just be horror films. Like
I think so too.
Just because of how much the MPAA would cut out of these movies and make them cut. So it's now I feel like it's like I want to see like a plethora of all these director cut horror films with all like the NC-17 cuts of what that is probably what they would have got at the time to get to cut down to get to the R.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it would be at these NC-17 cuts of all these like horror movies. Would be interesting.
A lot of those Friday 13ths, we've talked about those before. They get so butchered up.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a good quote, like these horror movies, these special effects people do such a good job that they get punished for it. So then it gets cut because it's too realistic. And it's weird, like you're getting punished for being too good at your job.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Okay, so I had to look it up because I was pretty sure I didn't like Amy Adams in anything, but I take it back. I was thinking about
weird.
Like, anything. Enchanted.
Oh, she's great. Yeah, she's great.
Enchanted is awesome. You never saw Enchanted?
I think is there a scene because it has what's his name? Cyclops from
James
Marston or
James Marston.
Yeah. Does he like fall off a bridge in that movie or something?
Yeah.
Like something nice.
Dude, I think we should do that eventually. But yeah, Enchanted is awesome. So that's my Amy Adams thing. I figure I saw her in something I liked, but
okay, cool. Is that how we're ending this episode?
Oh, okay. We'll end this with one last thing before we wrap it up.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna get his name wrong because I really don't know much about the character. But when Jesse Eisenberg pops in at the end of the movie, is it Deadshot?
It's Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
Yeah, Deadshot is Will Smith from Suicide Squad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Deathstroke. I remember when Matt Reeves was gonna direct Ben Affleck as Batman, that he was gonna be the main villain. And I remember,
dude, I would have been super on board with this because the fighting would have been awesome between the two of them.
And I like him a lot.
I'm good. I don't really like.
You've mentioned it before. I think we talked about this on the Batman vs Superman episode because they show that scene. I think we talked about it at some point though. But I remember you talking about you're not a fan of Deathstroke because he's not really like a.
It's
Batman.
Okay.
What's
and it's more of just kind of like. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with him, and like I'm not a huge fan of him because it's like, and it's the same confusion I get that you just got, Chris, where you're like, oh yeah, Deadshot. I was like, yeah, Deadshot, Deathstroke, Deadpool. And I'm like,
right.
All these like, almost like they all look like the same character to a certain degree. Like they all have like the same kind of mask and the same kind of outfit and. Two of them have katanas, and
when the boat showed up at the end of Jesse Eisenberg, from the back, it looked like Deadpool. It looked like a mask.
Yeah.
Deadpool's Marvel. Get it right.
I do like the actor who plays
Joe Manganiello. I can't pronounce his last name.
From Spider-Man.
Like he's Flash. Was it Flash from Spider-Man?
Thompson
Flash
or
Thompson
something.
from
Thomas.
the Spider-Man movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the Spider-Man movies? Oh, he was. Oh,
He's
yeah.
the bully that, you know,
Yeah.
when he punches at Peter Parker and he's like, huh? Huh?
Not every week.
I missed it.
Not every week.
I missed it.
I was thinking about that last night. I was like, I wonder how Chris is going to shoe in that ghost joke from
The
4
penny?
episodes ago.
You'd be like, year 50 of the podcast.
Yeah.
I can't even hold up a penny anymore.
My
All right,
arthritis.
so that's going to wrap up Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any requests or you have any recommendations, you can hit us up on Facebook or you can email us at
cinemacultpodcast@gmail.com.
And we hope you enjoyed listening to this because we enjoyed making it. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
And we'll see you next time.